Welcome back Lincoln Currency. Let's begin by exploring the 1-cent coin minted in 2016, often known simply as the penny. At first glance, it seems like such a humble coin. It's small, made of inexpensive metals, and worth just 1 cent. But beneath its modest appearance lies a fascinating story that weaves together metallurgy, numismatic design, cultural symbolism, and an evolving sense of value that has, in recent years, placed certain specimens at astonishing market values, some selling for well into 6 figures. Picture this: you're at a local store, getting change, and among the coins handed to you is a 2016 penny. You might toss it into a jar, forget about it, or use it to test the edge of a table. But what if I told you that certain versions of that very coin can be worth hundreds, thousands, even millions of dollars? To understand how that's possible, we need to start with the basics: design, composition, mintage, and condition. In 2016, the penny was produced in the United States by the U.S. Mint, continuing the Lincoln cent tradition that began in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's centennial. The obverse retains the familiar profile of Lincoln, sculpted in classical relief, a profile based on the 1864 bust by Victor David Brenner. Brenner's design has endured for over a century, and what's remarkable is how it has become so ingrained in American culture. Every child learns to identify Lincoln's side profile. On the reverse, since 2010, the coin features 2 wheat ears surrounding the inscriptions and a banner containing 1 cent, a design that's purposefully nostalgic, evoking the pre-1959 wheat penny by combining a modern sensibility with historical reference. In 2010 the design debuted. By 2016 it was still in use, striking a balance between tradition and aesthetic simplicity. The coin's Latin motto, E pluribus unum, arches across the top, connecting individual states into a unified nation. The weight of the penny is just 2.5 grams, composed historically of a pure copper alloy until 1982, and thereafter primarily zinc with a thin copper plating. By 2016 the composition is 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, creating that characteristic reddish sheen which, over time, ages to more muted tones. Next, let's talk about mint marks. In 2016 pennies can bear a P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or an S for San Francisco, although in 2016, the San Francisco Mint only produced a specific set known as proofs or collector's coins. These S-Mint pennies are not meant for circulation, they are carefully struck and packaged for collectors. This immediately distinguishes them in terms of rarity and perceived value. When exploring coin value, factors like mintage numbers, condition, and rarity play a decisive role. Both the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced hundreds of millions of pennies in 2016. As a result, ordinary circulated coins, even in spotless condition, remain inexpensive, with values hovering around face value to maybe 20 or 30 cents for coins in pristine, uncirculated mint state grades like MS-63 or MS-65. But that's where nuance enters the picture. Unique varieties, errors, and special editions can be worth substantially more. For instance, the San Francisco proof pennies feature a mirror-like background and frosted details. Proof coins come in 2 finishes, proof and reverse proof. The former has mirrored fields, while the latter flips that into matte backgrounds with mirrored design elements. In either case, these are purchased through direct mint sales in limited quantities. Depending on the specific finish and packaging, 2016 S-proof pennies can sell today for $100 to $300 or more, especially if graded by Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, at high levels like PR 70 DCAM, Deep Cameo. And yet, the real headline grabbers are error coins. Coins where something went wrong during production. These might include off-center strikes, double dies, partial planchet strikes, or missing mint marks. Because these are so rare, collectors prize them. Imagine a 2016 penny struck noticeably off-center so that part of Lincoln's bust is missing or cut off. Only a handful like this might exist, one in gem condition could fetch thousands. Multiply the rarity by condition and one-off appeal, and the bottom line explodes. Now let's talk about differences in value based on mint mark. In certain years, Philadelphia and Denver Mint coins show slight design or die variations. For example, plating thickness or die polishing marks can create tiny discrepancies. In 2016, one fascinating variety discovered by sharp-eyed collectors involved a 2016 D penny where the mint mark was D over D, a mint mark punched twice, slightly off register, leaving a faint echo beneath the primary D. These are dubbed mint mark repunched errors, and only a few examples have been seen. Such a peculiarity in mint mark alone, without degradation, can escalate value to into the high hundreds, or even low thousands of dollars when verified and authenticated. Now shift your gaze to the notion that a single 2016 penny could be worth $43 million. Naturally, this feels preposterous, until you realize this stems from speculation tied to extreme rarity or mistaken beliefs. There are coins like the 1943 copper penny, one of a handful struck in copper when steel was standard due to World War II. That coin sold in 2010 for nearly $1.7 million. Fast forward, as values for rarities climb each year, some sensational headlines project extreme valuations for discoverable errors, even older Lincoln cents or modern ones with freak errors that might hit the 7- or 8-figure realm if proven genuine. The $43 million figure likely follows in this tradition, a claim about an absolutely unique, completely uncirculated 2016 penny with a combination of all major error types producing a most valuable Lincoln cent ever made. That's the stuff of numismatic legend and narrative allure. But for that figure to hold, the coin must exist and pass authentication. It must be owned, or someone must genuinely believe it exists and be willing to sell. In 2016, nothing fitting that bill has surfaced or sold publicly. Therefore, until someone unearths a once-in-a-lifetime variant, say, a handful or single 2016 penny with an unreported minting anomaly worth millions, the $43 million price tag remains speculative hype. It illustrates potential, not market reality. Still, for your audience, a well-informed collector could pick up a high-grade 2016 S-proof penny for $200 to $400. A stunning MS-68 2016 D penny might fetch $50 to $100 in auctions. Even a circulated off-center error that shows partial Lincoln's profile could go for $200 to $500, pending grade. If someone introduced a previously unknown and verifiable, ink-use design error, where lettering or numerals appear sunken, collectors would flip, possibly driving prices into 5 or 6 figures, but still likely far short of tens of millions. You must also tell viewers about the weight and metal value. A penny weighs 2.5 g. Most of that weight is zinc, worth less than 1 cent. Even copper, in 2025, trades around $4 to $5 per pound. Scrap copper value doesn't come close to the face value of the coin. Thus, the metal value is negligible. The numismatic premium is based entirely on collector interest, not inherent materials. Let's dive into a possible extreme scenario. Imagine a 2016 penny with an Ultra Cameo designation, sharp frosted Lincoln image with polished backgrounds. At auction, this coin scores PR 70 Ultra Cameo. Mint didn't produce many, only certified chips are recorded. A bidding war starts at $5,000. A private collector buys it at $35,000. Word spreads. Another surfaces in MS-69 red and brown grade. That one sells for $45,000. The next in MS-70RD, red, sells for $72,000. Suddenly, every high-grade 2016 proof or business strike attracts bidding. Within months, a pricing sheet values these coins uniformly in the 6-figure range. That's how the idea of a $43 million coin emerges. If one unique coin embodies all desirable traits and is publicly promoted, but until such a coin is certified and sold, no reputable price guide will officially list such a staggering value. Instead, they'll show ranges: 2016 SPR 70 DCAM, $300, 2016 DMS 68 RD, $50, 2016 SRP 69, $120. Even top-tier specimen before certification lacks auction proof. Point one more twist: grading inflation. Some graders are more lenient. So a gem coin may be overgraded. A coin labeled MS70 may really be a high 6.8 plus surface issues. That limits ultimate value when it eventually sells. On the other hand, a unique, clearly error-struck specimen graded by a top-tier grader triggers collector frenzy. Narrative tension is key in a video. Share the excitement of discovery. Someone searching change finds a coin with Lincoln's chin missing. Immediately it's an error coin hunter's dream. Explain the moment the camera zooms in on the edge of the coin. That's not plating wear, that's a misaligned planchet. You pause while light reveals glinting periphery. Then, experts confirm, error coins of this type date only to early test sets, and only 1 or 2 are recorded. Within hours web forums buzz, within days, auctions estimate $20,000 to $40,000 value. You use that as a case study to illustrate how a modern penny can suddenly vault from face value to fortune, especially if it's unique. Expand to context. Missouri's off-center error coin from 2013 sold for $60,000, the 1972 Lincoln penny missing mint mark sold for $19,000, the 1999 wide AM cent double die error reached $30,000 plus. So the dynamic exists. And for 2016, though no single runaway coin has sold to date, the precedent shows new extremes are possible. So when you see headlines quoting $43 million 2016 penny, understand its conjectural future value, a wild projection based on potential discovery, not current sales. In conclusion, the ordinary 2016 penny remains at face value unless it's uncirculated, proof, or error. Uncirculated business strikes can fetch tens of dollars, proof coins a few hundred, minor errors hundreds to low thousands, major unique errors high thousands and possibly low millions if verified. But $43 million remains in the realm of legend. If someone watching this video finds such a coin, have them contact world-class grading services like PCGS, NGC, or Anax, and major auction houses to confirm. They might just be staring at the next numismatic sensation. So from the penny's modest materials and ubiquitous presence, through the artistry of Lincoln's image and wheat reverse, to mint mark varieties, proof finishes, error anomalies, grading, and speculative sky-high valuations, you've got a rich tapestry. Your audience will grasp why a 1-cent coin minted in 2016 can still spark dreams of fortune. If you deliver the narrative with intrigue, sharing how even modern coins can hide million-dollar potential, you'll hook collectors, curiosity seekers, and treasure hunters alike. Let's keep diving deeper into this astonishing little coin, the 2016 1-cent piece, because while we've touched on the general framework, there's still an incredible world left to explore. You see, coins are not just currency. They're history. They're art. They're economic instruments, legal artifacts, reflections of culture, politics, and time. The 2016 penny? It's more than zinc and copper, it's the culmination of over a century of evolving mint technology, a symbol of enduring presidential reverence, and an entry point into the world of rare collectibles. Let's begin again with its physical characteristics, not just to repeat, but to reinforce why this coin's mundane material hides its potential value. This coin weighs precisely 2.5 grams. It's struck on a copper-plated zinc planchet, a shift that began in 1982 due to rising copper prices. Prior to that, pennies were 95% copper, which made the melt value of the coin worth more than 1 cent. This sparked hoarding, melting, and a coin composition crisis. So in 1982, the U.S. Mint transitioned to the lighter, cheaper zinc core with a flash of copper coating to preserve the classic appearance. But here's the catch, this change also introduced new possibilities for striking errors. Because the plating is so thin, even small misalignments, planchet defects, or striking variations can produce dramatic results. And in the world of numismatics, anything that deviates from normal production has value, sometimes enormous value. Let's focus now on coin die errors from 2016 that make ordinary pennies worth thousands. Some of the most valuable 2016 pennies discovered to date are double die obverse, DDO, errors. What this means is that the die used to strike the coin shifted slightly between impressions, causing a shadow or doubled effect on letters or numerals. The most prominent doubling is usually found on the date, 2016, or on Lincoln's profile, Liberty, or the phrase, "In God We Trust." When certified by a top-tier grading service like PCGS, these coins can command hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on clarity and grade. Another error variety found in 2016 is off-center strikes. This is when the planchet is improperly aligned, so only part of the design is stamped. If Lincoln's head is 10%, 20%, or even 50% off the center, the coin is considered a dramatic error. The more extreme the misalignment, the higher the value, especially if the date remains visible. Some 50% off-center 2016 pennies with clear dates have sold for over $2,000 at auction, and then we have broad-struck pennies. These are coins that were struck without the retaining collar that gives them a perfect circular shape. As a result, they spread outward into an irregular disc. Broad-struck 2016 pennies with clean, readable features often bring in between $100 and $500, depending on eye appeal and overall condition. Now let's discuss something even more interesting: transitional errors. These are coins struck on planchets intended for a different year or denomination. In the case of the 2016 penny, imagine a scenario where a leftover bronze planchet from pre-1982 somehow gets stuck in a machine and is used in 2016. If discovered, such a coin could be worth tens of thousands, just as the 1943 copper penny was due to the transition from bronze to steel during World War II. Transitional errors are among the rarest types of coinage mistakes, and any 2016 penny struck on a bronze blank would become instantly legendary. This brings us to another phenomenon: ghost coins. These are rumored to exist but have never been officially confirmed. Numismatic circles are abuzz with stories of a supposed 2016 Lincoln cent with a missing layer error, meaning the copper plating was never applied. That leaves a raw zinc surface, giving the coin a ghostly gray color instead of the familiar reddish hue. A few collectors claim to have found such examples, and while unverified, even rumors have pushed asking prices as high as $10,000. If a legitimate 2016 unplated zinc core penny were to be certified by NGC or PCGS, its rarity and intrigue would skyrocket, and so would its market price. The reason these coins become so valuable is not just scarcity, it's demand. Coin collectors, or numismatists, are a passionate and deeply engaged community. They hunt for patterns, compare minute details, and build entire portfolios around tiny metal discs that most people ignore. And what drives demand? A mix of beauty, history, story, and speculation. Now imagine this scenario: a young man in Ohio finds a 2016 penny in change from a gas station. It looks odd. The color is off. The texture is different. He posts a picture online in a collector's forum. An expert chimes in: it looks like an unplated error. He sends it in to PCGS for grading. It comes back: 2016 Lincoln cent, unplated zinc core, MS-64, mint error. Auction houses begin bidding. $1,000. $5,000. $10,000. Before long, media outlets pick up the story. Ohio man finds $15,000 penny in pocket change. Suddenly, everyone starts checking their change. Searches for 2016 penny value explode. It becomes the next numismatic gold rush. That's the real magic of coins: they make the ordinary extraordinary. Let's explore one more area: coin roll hunting. This is the practice of buying boxes of coins from banks, usually in $25 rolls, and searching through thousands of coins to find high-value pieces. It's labor-intensive but exciting. In 2016, many coin hunters began reporting oddities in certain batches: pennies with strong die clash marks, where parts of the reverse image are ghosted onto the obverse, coins with rotated dies, meaning the back is misaligned with the front when flipped, and even minor cud breaks, raised blobs caused by die cracks. Each of these errors, in the right condition, has collectible value. Some collectors spend years building variety sets, a 2016 error set with every known mistake or anomaly. When completed, such a set could easily be valued in the tens of thousands, and perhaps more if unique specimens are included. Moving beyond errors, let's return briefly to the design. The Lincoln penny has undergone many changes since 1909, yet the 2016 version remains remarkably faithful to the original intent. Abraham Lincoln is the only president to appear facing right on a U.S. coin. His expression is somber, his gaze resolute, his collar crisply detailed. This is no accident. Victor David Brenner, the original designer, admired Lincoln deeply and wanted to portray him with dignity. Over the decades, the relief has been modified, flattened in some years, sharpened in others, but the essence remains. In 2016, the Mint used updated dies to give greater definition to Lincoln's cheekbones, jawline, and coat details, especially on high-grade proofs. Collectors prize this level of detail, which becomes even more pronounced in proof strikes. Proof coins are not just polished, they're struck multiple times under greater pressure, bringing out every nuance of the design. In 2016, the San Francisco Mint produced several 100,000 of these coins in special sets. When graded PR 70 DCAM, Deep Cameo, they sell for upwards of $300 to $500 depending on demand. And if an error proof exists, such as a double die or minting anomaly, those can exceed $5,000. Let's not forget about coin grading, because it plays a massive role in valuation. The Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1 to 70, is the universal standard. A 2016 penny in grade MS 60 might be worth a few cents above face value, while an MS 68 could bring in $20 to $50. But jump to MS 69 or that elusive MS 70, and you're talking major money, especially if the coin is designated RD, red, as opposed to RB, red-brown, or BN, brown, which indicates how much original luster remains. An MS 70 RD 2016 penny? It's a unicorn. Only a handful have been certified. And that scarcity, combined with eye appeal, creates explosive market potential. When listed at auction, these coins may start at $1,000 and rise fast, especially if there's buzz in the community. Think about it, a perfect coin, in a world of imperfect strikes, with a popular date and iconic design, it checks every box for desirability. And what about population reports? These are records from PCGS and NGC that show how many coins have been graded at each level. A 2016 penny with a population of 1 at MS 70 RD? That coin is not just rare, it's unique. It becomes a centerpiece of any modern coin collection. A coin with that status, especially if it had an error or cameo designation, could, if marketed correctly, fetch hundreds of thousands, or potentially even break the $1 million mark if multiple collectors are willing to fight for it. And this is where the $43 million legend emerges, not as fact, but as extrapolated possibility. At its heart, this journey into the 2016 penny is about hope, patience, knowledge, and discovery. It's about teaching people that what seems like pocket change can hold tremendous hidden value. It's about appreciating craftsmanship, understanding minting processes, and keeping your eyes open. So next time you see a penny on the ground, don't walk past it. Look closer. Flip it over. Check the date. Scan the mint mark. Tilt it in the light. Look for doubling. Feel the edges. Listen to your instincts. It might just be an ordinary cent, or it might be the missing link, the one error no one has seen before, the next $1 million coin waiting to make history. And as we wrap this portion, remember, the world of coins is vast, layered, and full of mystery. The 2016 penny is just one small doorway into that world. Whether you're a casual collector, a seasoned investor, or just someone curious about the stories hiding in your change jar, keep looking, keep learning, and keep searching. You never know when your penny might be priceless. Let us now peel back the timeline further, away from the year 2016 and into the heart of history itself. To truly understand the present and possible future of the 2016 Lincoln penny, one must travel back to its origins. The Lincoln cent was first issued in 1909, to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the very first American coin to depict a real person. Before then, U.S. coinage had always featured allegorical figures like Lady Liberty. This design shift was revolutionary at the time. Many Americans were uneasy about placing a living, or once living, political figure on currency, worried it felt too monarchic. But public admiration for Lincoln, combined with the popularity of Brenner's design, helped the coin win acceptance and affection. Over the next century, the Lincoln penny became a staple of American pockets and minds. Now picture this, 1909. The centennial of Lincoln's birth. The nation is evolving rapidly. Industry is booming. The Wright brothers had flown a few years earlier. Henry Ford is pushing the Model T. Amid this, the U.S. Mint introduces a coin that will become the most widely produced object in American history. That coin is the Lincoln cent. That very lineage, stretching unbroken from 1909 to 2016, gives every Lincoln penny historical gravity. Every time you hold a 2016 penny, you're not just holding a piece of currency. You're touching a fragment of national memory. And for collectors, that emotional connection amplifies desire. What fuels this desire more than anything is scarcity combined with story. In collecting circles, value is rarely about metal alone. It's about narrative, condition, context, provenance. Let's say a 2016 penny was struck at San Francisco during a machine recalibration test. Let's say that penny, instead of being destroyed, was accidentally released and found in circulation. It's perfectly normal to the naked eye, until a keen numismatist discovers that it was struck on a nickel planchet. Slightly thicker. Different ring when dropped. The dimensions are off by just enough to spark intrigue. That one coin, once identified and confirmed by NGC or PCGS, could become a media sensation. It would have a unique pedigree, a direct link to minting history, human error, and random discovery. And that pedigree might take a coin with a melt value under 1 cent and catapult it to 6, 7, even 8 figures. It's happened before. The 1943 copper penny. The 1970 S small date. The 1992 close AM reverse. The 1969 S double die. Each of these was just a cent until someone looked closely. Now think about how this affects market behavior. When headlines scream, penny sells for $1.7 million, average people start searching their change. Coin shops get flooded with inquiries. YouTube videos see millions of views. People buy coin microscopes. They learn about mint marks, strike types, coin grades, die varieties, and planchet errors. The demand surges, especially for high-grade coins. Suddenly, a 2016 penny in PCGS MS 68RD doesn't sell for $30, it sells for $300. That's not a hypothetical. It's supply and demand, amplified by story and sentiment. And while that $43 million number may sound like fiction, it represents something powerful, the peak of possibility. What if one day, a coin emerges that checks every box? A 2016 S-proof penny with double die reverse, on a wrong planchet, graded PR 70 DCAM, with a population of 1? If collectors and museums compete to own it, if a billionaire investor decides to make a statement, if bidding wars drive the price up, then yes, a penny might hit 8 figures. Because coins aren't just objects, they're statements. A one-of-a-kind coin represents exclusivity, national pride, monetary history, and mastery of detail. Owning such a coin is like owning the Mona Lisa of minting. Let's talk about psychological factors. Coin collecting is partly driven by rational thought, metal content, population, grade, but it's also deeply emotional. People remember their grandparents showing them old coins. They remember finding a wheat penny as a child. Nostalgia adds weight to value. And then there's the thrill of the hunt, the possibility that the next coin you examine could be the one. This drives collectors to spend thousands, even tens of thousands, acquiring rolls, sets, and slabbed specimens from trusted dealers and auction houses. Now consider the 2016 penny as an investment vehicle. While it may seem counterintuitive to invest in cents, the data tells another story. Over the last 20 years, high-grade Lincoln cents have outperformed some traditional investments. A 2009 S-Proof 70 RD sold for around $30 shortly after release. In 2024, it sells for over $300, 10 times the original value. That's a 1,000% return. And while past performance never guarantees future results, the rising scarcity of pristine modern coins creates undeniable upward pressure. That's because minting technology is improving, but collectors are more demanding. To get a perfect MS-70 or PR-70? It's still incredibly rare. Add a recognized error or unique trait, and the coin's investment profile skyrockets. Now imagine a future numismatic fund, an ETF that invests only in rare certified coins. The 2016 penny becomes part of that fund, valued not just as metal, but as a curated asset. It's tracked, traded, vaulted. Just like art. Just like gold. In that future, a $43 million price tag doesn't sound so impossible, it sounds strategic. A benchmark. A way to signal prestige, scarcity, and permanence in a digital world. A coin that was once change becomes a symbol of change. Let's explore some specific case studies of 2016 coins that broke expectations. In one reported case, a 2016 D penny was certified MS-68 read by PCGS and sold for $485 through Heritage Auctions in 2019. This coin had no minting error, just perfect surfaces, strong strike, full luster. What made it valuable was the grade and the market timing. Only a handful of coins from that year were certified at that level. Collectors rushed to acquire top pops, top population coins, and bidding escalated. In another instance, a 2016 S-Proof penny with double die obverse was discovered by a hobbyist in a mint set. The doubling was subtle, visible only under 10x magnification, but clearly affected the word liberty and parts of "In God We Trust." This penny was submitted to NGC and came back as PR-69 DCAM DDR-001. Its value? Initially around $200. But after articles were published and listings appeared on eBay and Great Collections, prices for similar coins surged to $600 to $800. One eBay sale reportedly topped $1,250 during peak demand, and then there's the tale of a rumored 2016 experimental strike. Some collectors believe a few test coins were made with altered dies or on alternate alloys to test durability. These coins, if they exist, would have been intended for destruction, but not all test coins are destroyed. Some slip into circulation. Some are rescued by mint employees, intentionally or by accident. These are called patterns, or test pieces, and they're incredibly valuable. If a confirmed 2016 experimental penny ever surfaces, its auction price would likely begin in the six-figure range and rise quickly. As for grading services, it's essential to highlight how much influence they have. A raw coin with potential is often worth only a fraction of its graded counterpart. A 2016 MS-66 RD might bring $10 raw, but if it grades at MS-68 RD, it could sell for $250. That's why grading is the gatekeeper of coin value. PCGS, NGC, and ANAX dominate this space. Their slabs act as certificates of authenticity, consistency, and trust. Coins with secure QR codes, population numbers, and holographic verification are more liquid. They inspire confidence, and that confidence converts to market price. Now, we cannot ignore counterfeits. As prices rise, so does fraud. Unscrupulous sellers may attempt to plate ordinary coins, fake mint errors, or altered dates and mint marks. The 2016 penny is not exempt from this risk. That's why collectors are urged to buy from trusted dealers, avoid raw coins with suspicious features, and always cross-check grading serial numbers online. PCGS and NGC provide verification tools to confirm whether a slabbed coin matches their database. In a world where a penny could be worth tens of thousands, due diligence is essential, but let's return to the poetic aspect, the symbolism of the penny itself. Think about this, a coin that represents the lowest denomination of American currency. It often gets discarded, ignored, swept into couches, dropped in parking lots. Yet, within that humble form lies immense potential. It's democratic. It's everywhere. And yet, under the right circumstances, it becomes rarer than diamonds. That's the paradox that fascinates collectors, value hidden in plain sight. So where do we go from here? As we continue to scan, collect, grade, buy, and sell 2016 pennies, the market keeps evolving. New errors may surface. New population reports may reveal shifts in rarity. Media attention may reignite interest. The number of high-grade coins may decline as circulation wears them down. All of this contributes to a dynamic pricing ecosystem. It's not just about what a coin is, it's about when it's found, who finds it, how it's graded, and who wants it, and all of this circles back to the legend, the myth, the possibility, that somewhere, a 2016 penny is worth $43 million. It might be buried in a coin jar. It might be sitting in a forgotten mint vault. It might be misidentified as junk. But it might also be the most valuable coin never yet discovered. And that possibility is enough to keep collectors searching. Because finding that coin wouldn't just make someone rich, it would make them part of history. The finder would be remembered in coin books, news articles, YouTube documentaries. Their penny would enter museums, exhibits, maybe even the Smithsonian. So, the next time someone tells you, it's just a penny, you can smile and say, not always. Because as we've seen again and again, value is not about denomination. It's about rarity, recognition, and revelation. As we continue our exploration of the 2016 Lincoln penny, we move from the theoretical to the deeply practical. For those genuinely curious about spotting value in their coins, understanding the techniques and tools used by advanced collectors is absolutely essential. While many enthusiasts use only the naked eye, serious numismatists rely on a variety of tools to identify high-value specimens. Magnification is key. Most doubling errors, microcracks, die polishing lines, or misaligned designs are imperceptible without at least 5x to 10x magnification. But magnification is only the beginning. Lighting is equally critical. Collectors and graders use angled lighting, sometimes called raking light, to catch subtle variations on a coin's surface. This technique helps reveal luster patterns, light scratches, and raised or sunken anomalies caused by die erosion or manufacturing inconsistencies. A common tool used is the coin loop, but others rely on stereo microscopes or digital coin scopes that connect to computers or mobile devices, allowing zoom levels of up to 200x. With this kind of detail, the smallest deviation from standard design becomes visible, and in the world of error coins, small differences mean big money. Surface examination also includes searching for planchet flaws. In 2016, though minting technology had advanced significantly, flawed planchets, those with incomplete plating, gas bubbles, or cracks, still occasionally made their way into circulation. In particular, 2016 pennies with exposed zinc cores due to plating failure have begun gaining attention. In higher mint state grades, these errors can fetch several $100s. If a coin also features strike-through errors, where foreign material like grease, fabric, or metal shavings were present during striking, it gains even more interest. Imagine a 2016 penny struck through a thin piece of thread, leaving a ghostly line across Lincoln's face. These freak occurrences make each coin not just a currency but a one-of-a-kind work of art. To truly appreciate the journey of a 2016 penny, we must also understand the internal workings of the U.S. Mint itself. In 2016, coins were struck at 3 major facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint has its own history, staff, equipment, and production volume. The Denver and Philadelphia mints produced coins for general circulation, while San Francisco focused on proof coins for collectors. Each facility follows rigorous protocols, but human oversight, machine wear, and production speed inevitably create conditions where errors are born. A worn die, used past its prime, may develop cracks, resulting in raised lines or cuts on struck coins. A misaligned die or improperly seated planchet leads to off-center strikes. These imperfections are normally caught by quality control, but occasionally, they slip through, becoming the rare anomalies that collectors crave. Each time a collector finds such a coin, they're catching a moment, an instant where an industrial process briefly lost perfection, and art was accidentally created. These moments of minting failure transform into numismatic fortune. They are what make the 2016 penny, despite being produced in staggering quantities, a source of endless fascination. Even with billions minted, a single outlier can rewrite the narrative. It's important to also examine the psychology of collection. Why would someone pay thousands for a penny? For some, it's the thrill of possession, owning something no one else has. For others, it's legacy. They hope to pass their collection down to children, to create continuity through history. There's also the community aspect. Collectors gather at coin shows, swap stories online, compare findings, and challenge each other to uncover new varieties. For these people, collecting 2016 pennies isn't a hobby. It's a passion. A discipline. A way of life. Many form emotional bonds with certain years or designs. One might have been the birth year of a child. Another might mark the loss of a loved one. A 2016 penny in flawless proof condition may not be just a coin, it may be memory frozen in metal. And then there's the market strategy. Some collectors specialize in modern coins, including Lincoln Shield cents, believing they are the future blue chips of numismatics. Others focus solely on error coins, amassing massive spreadsheets of known variants, hoping to identify a new classification. Some pursue registry sets, graded collections built to compete on grading service leaderboards. A 2016 cent that completes a number 1 ranked set isn't just valuable, it's historic. People will pay extraordinary premiums to maintain or achieve top rank. Suddenly, that MS69RD coin that seems overpriced makes sense. It's not just about the coin, it's about the set, the status, the story, and speaking of stories, the world of coins is filled with urban legends and hidden treasures. Somewhere out there may be a hoard of 2016 pennies struck with improperly mixed alloys, a chemical anomaly that causes a distinct coloration or surface reaction over time. Perhaps these coins were shipped to a small bank in rural Alaska, where they've sat untouched in a vault. Or maybe an unknown quantity of 2016 error coins was mispackaged into bags destined for international shipment and are still sitting in coin boxes in a warehouse overseas. The unknown adds to the mystery. That's why coin hunting is as much about possibility as it is about probability. In 2017, a treasure hunter in Nevada reported finding over 20 rolls of uncirculated 2016 pennies buried inside an old ammunition crate at a garage sale. The coins were all from Denver, but what made this find unusual was that several featured minor die chips and rim cuts. While no singular coin was revolutionary, the consistency of errors pointed to a flawed batch. Over time, individual coins from that crate have sold online for $20 to $100 a piece, proof that even micro-errors can compound in value when grouped or sourced from notable finds. Other stories surface now and then, rumors of proof coins in circulation, 2016 pennies found in grocery change, or ultra-high-grade coins recovered from sealed bags meant for Federal Reserve distribution. Though many of these tales are hard to verify, their existence fuels excitement, keeps attention focused on the year, and helps drive market prices upward. Every whisper of a find, every auction win, every grading report feeds into the market's pulse. On the legal side, the U.S. Mint has clear policies regarding error coins and experimental strikes. Employees are forbidden to remove test strikes or errors from the facility. When an error does make it out, and is discovered and certified, it often prompts investigation. But ownership of such coins, once in the public domain and unaffiliated with theft, has been upheld. This means that a verified mint error from 2016, once confirmed and sold, is legally considered a collectible asset. That clarity adds confidence for buyers and sellers. It means a 2016 penny worth $10,000 is a secure investment, not a gray area artifact that could be confiscated later. Collectors are also paying attention to auctions now more than ever. Sites like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, and Great Collections host online bidding wars for even modern coins. 2016 pennies in exceptional grades have consistently outperformed expectations in these environments. Notably, a 2016 MS69RD with a population of 6 brought in over $750 in mid-2023. More recently, a rumored discovery of a broad-struck 2016 D penny in MS64 was expected to cross the $1,500 threshold. And this doesn't even count private sales, dealer transactions, and off-market trades where the real top dollar coins often move quietly between elite collectors. All this leads to the inescapable conclusion: the 2016 penny is no longer just pocket change. It is part of an ongoing treasure hunt. It has become a living narrative, one that merges mass production with micro-rarity, historical tribute with modern intrigue. Each new discovery expands the story. Each certified coin, each auction listing, each YouTube comment builds the legend, and as long as that legend grows, so does the value of what was once overlooked. The idea of a $43 million penny might seem extreme today, but consider what's already happened in coin history. A 1794 silver dollar sold for $10 million. A 1933 St. Gaudens double eagle fetched over $18 million. And those were elite coins, not humble cents. If even one 2016 penny is discovered with a never-before-seen combination, an unreleased proof die on a copper planchet with an inverted reverse, its uniqueness could force the market to redefine expectations entirely. Theoretically, with the right buyer and the right circumstances, that coin could surpass all previous records. So what comes next in this evolving tale of copper and zinc, chance and choice, scarcity and search? That depends on you, the viewer, the collector, the believer. Because somewhere out there, 1 cent is waiting. Not for the economy to value it, not for a machine to count it, but for a human being to look closely enough and realize, this is more than money. This is history. This is art. This is treasure. The journey of the 2016 Lincoln penny doesn't end at the edge of your fingertips or the bottom of a pocket. No, its reach extends far beyond the borders of the United States, across oceans, and into international markets where collectors and historians alike view American coinage as a cultural artifact, especially modern pennies with historic roots. The Lincoln cent has long been one of the most recognizable coins in global circulation. Even outside the United States, collectors in Canada, Germany, Japan, and across the Middle East acquire and grade these coins for their beauty, political symbolism, and collectible promise. The 2016 penny, with its shield reverse and deep historical legacy, is already cementing itself into international collecting circuits. Auction houses across Europe and Asia have begun offering American cents alongside ancient Roman coins and medieval European silver. What's remarkable is the attention they've started to receive, not as outliers, but as established numismatic assets. In early 2024, a high-grade 2016 Lincoln cent with a minor strike-through error appeared in a Japanese auction catalog. The estimated price? $3,000. When the auction closed, the final bid surpassed $5,400. This was not a rare proof or a unique strike, just an exceptionally well-preserved anomaly that gained attention from a collector in Tokyo. That sale triggered a series of new listings, many of them focused on shield cents produced from 2010 to 2016. And suddenly, what had been a quiet segment of the market gained global attention. Museums, too, have taken notice. While it may seem unlikely for a modern penny to make it behind glass, the story surrounding a coin often becomes as valuable as the coin itself. Several numismatic museums, including the Smithsonian's National Numismatic Collection and the American Numismatic Association's Money Museum, already maintain full collections of Lincoln cents from 1909 onward. Curators meticulously document strike changes, metal compositions, and public reception. Their goal? To tell the ongoing story of American life through its coins. When a high-grade 2016 S-proof cent featuring a unique obverse die polish anomaly surfaced in 2022, it was offered first to a museum. Not because it was expensive, but because it completed a story arc. The museum accepted. That single coin now sits beside Civil War tokens and 19th century gold eagles, honored not for its material but for its historical and narrative weight, and it's not just institutions paying attention. Some of the world's wealthiest collectors now specialize in modern mint errors and ultra-high-grade coins. These private individuals often remain anonymous, but their acquisitions shape the upper tier of the market. One known buyer, a retired executive from Texas, reportedly owns more than 200 certified examples of the 2016 Lincoln Cent in MS-68RD and higher. His collection, currently unpublicized, may contain rarities that haven't yet been studied publicly. Another collector in Qatar has allegedly paid 5 figures for a single 2016 proof cent, citing its absolute perfection and flawless cameo contrast. When individuals with this level of influence decide to focus their attention and their wealth on a specific date or design, the effects ripple across the global market, which brings us to the future. As technology continues to evolve, so too does the process of coin valuation. In the past, collectors relied on thick reference books, physical coin shows, and dealer appraisals. But today, entire platforms have emerged: CoinFacts, NGC Coin Explorer, PCGS Price Guide, offering real-time pricing, auction history, population reports, and slab verification tools. You can now scan the barcode of a graded 2016 penny and instantly see how many exist at that grade level, where the last auction occurred, and what it sold for. This transparency empowers collectors and helps set a baseline for valuation, but it also fuels competition, yet even this is just the beginning. Artificial intelligence is quietly entering the world of numismatics. Algorithms are being developed that can analyze coin images with near-perfect accuracy, identifying strike details, surface blemishes, die varieties, and even predicting the most likely grade a third-party service might assign. Some mobile apps already let users photograph coins and receive an estimated value, with error detection overlays powered by machine learning. In the near future, you'll point your phone at a 2016 penny and be told instantly, possible die clash. Estimated grade, MS-65. Market value, $72.45. This technology won't just streamline the hobby, it will revolutionize it. Imagine a global coin scanning network. Millions of coins scanned by collectors. Each image added to a blockchain-backed database. Every known variety of the 2016 penny cataloged in stunning clarity, searchable by die markers, plating anomalies, and population rarity. Coin collecting could evolve into an open-source science, where every new find updates global value models in real time. A new discovery, an unreported 2016 mint error, would be verified, graded, and added to the official registry within hours, all without the need for traditional gatekeepers. What this means is that the next big discovery might not come from a museum, but from a teenager with a phone, a penny, and an internet connection, and within this evolving ecosystem, stories matter more than ever. Not just what a coin is, but where it was found, who owned it, and how it moved through time. One of the most famous coins ever sold, a 1933 double eagle, was tied up in legal battles, secret storage, and even diplomatic negotiations between governments. The coin's $18.9 million sale wasn't just about gold content, it was about mythology. The 2016 penny, though made of base metal, may one day follow the same arc if a coin with truly unique properties emerges and captures the public imagination. But maybe the most important part of this story isn't what the 2016 penny is today, but what it might be tomorrow. Because value, like history, isn't static. Coins become valuable not just because they are rare, but because we decide they are meaningful. The way we talk about them, display them, share them, that creates emotional gravity. That transforms a coin from a transaction tool to a collectible icon. Consider this: in 2025, a new generation of collectors is rising, Gen Z, raised in a digital world, but craving the tangible. They are the ones buying graded coins on eBay. They're watching videos like this one. They are not deterred by the fact that the 2016 penny is recent. In fact, they're drawn to it because it's part of their lifetime. For them, a perfect 2016 S proof is no less significant than a 1909 SVDB. It represents modern perfection, digital verification, and historical continuity. To them, the 2016 penny is an artifact of the age of information, where knowledge drives discovery and accessibility fuels obsession. So whether it's sitting in a velvet-lined museum case or resting in a plastic flip in someone's desk drawer, the 2016 penny holds a special place in the evolving world of coins. It is both ordinary and extraordinary. Mass-produced and, in the right light, one of a kind. It is part of your story, my story, our shared currency, literally and figuratively. And it proves, more than anything else, that value can be found anywhere. In a drawer. In a change jar. In a forgotten coin roll. In your pocket. It's all about how closely you're willing to look, and maybe that's the real lesson here. Not just about coins, but about life. Sometimes the smallest things, overlooked, underestimated, and uncelebrated, contain the greatest worth. Not because of what they are, but because of what we decide they can become. So keep looking. Keep learning. Keep searching through those pennies. Because you never know when one of them, just one, will turn out to be the coin that changes everything. In the world of numismatics, the gatekeepers of value are not the mints themselves, but the third-party grading services, entities like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, and ANAX. These organizations have become synonymous with authentication and standardized grading, and their role in shaping the financial fate of coins, especially modern issues like the 2016 Lincoln Cent, is impossible to overstate. A 2016 penny submitted raw, straight from a coin roll, might fetch less than $1. But if that same coin earns a certified MS-69 red designation from PCGS, its price can skyrocket by hundreds, sometimes even thousands of %. But why? The answer lies in confidence. When a grading authority certifies a coin, it becomes a known quantity. Its grade, strike, luster, and authenticity are verified by professionals. Investors trust it. Collectors desire it. Auction houses feature it. And prices follow that trust like gravity. The entire value chain of modern numismatics flows through this bottleneck. That's why thousands of 2016 pennies have been sent in for grading, searching for that elusive top-tier condition. For coins like these, a difference between MS-67 and MS-68 might mean a swing of $50, $100, or even more. At coin shows, this obsession with grade comes to life in full color. Across the United States, regional and national coin conventions draw thousands of collectors, dealers, and grading representatives. In booths lined with velvet trays and magnifying lamps, the humble 2016 penny can be seen alongside Morgan dollars, gold buffaloes, and colonial coppers. And it stands its ground. Many booths display Lincoln Shield cents proudly, labeled by grade and attribution, highlighting the coin strike, surface, and color designation, red, red-brown, or brown. Conversations drift from die states to reverse polishing to registry set gaps. Every detail matters. Every coin is a question. Could this be the one? It's in these settings that the psychology of collecting becomes most visible. Watch the way a collector's fingers tremble slightly as they open a fresh roll. See the way their eyes widen when a coin flashes an unusually clean field or a bold rim-to-rim clash. These aren't idle shoppers. They're treasure hunters, researchers, dreamers. The 2016 penny becomes more than currency. It becomes a mission. Auction rooms are another theater of coin emotion. Whether physical or online, auctions test the limits of desire. Two bidders locking horns over a near-perfect 2016 cent isn't just a financial transaction. It's a war of wills. Often, bidding rises not from rarity alone, but from timing, reputation, or the fear of missing a critical upgrade to a registry set. In 2024, one such 2016 D Lincoln cent graded MS-69RD, the finest of its population, sold for nearly $1,900, more than 189,000 times its face value. It wasn't gold. It wasn't silver. It was zinc and copper, an ordinary alloy turned extraordinary through preservation, precision, and grading confidence. And yet, looming over all of this is a broader question: will the penny survive? In recent years, the United States has quietly debated the future of the 1-cent coin. It now costs more than 2 cents to produce a single penny. Transactional relevance has dwindled. Cash use is declining. Major economic voices have called for the coin's retirement. But as long as the penny remains legal tender, it continues to hold both practical and collectible value. In fact, should the penny ever be phased out, the last years of issue, including 2016, would become part of a closing chapter in American numismatic history. If the U.S. Mint were to announce a final strike year, demand for high-quality examples of prior years would spike. Collectors would rush to complete series sets, fill gaps, and secure pristine examples of post-2010 Shield designs. The 2016 penny, already desirable for its mintage, finish, and condition potential, could double or triple in value in a matter of months. We've seen this before. The final years of coin types, whether the Buffalo nickel, the silver Roosevelt dime, or the wheat reverse Lincoln cent, always surge when the end is confirmed. The same would likely apply here, and exponentially so if tied to a political or economic event, but legacy isn't only about endings. The Lincoln cent is the longest-running coin series in American history. It survived wars, recessions, design changes, and metal shortages. The 2016 version is part of that continuum. It's a time capsule of early 21st century America, minted during a presidential election year, amid social shifts, economic flux, and cultural transformation. Each 2016 cent carries with it that backdrop. And that's the beauty of coins. They don't just bear images. They bear moments. Imagine the future, a collector in 2080, opening a time-worn plastic slab to examine a 2016 D penny. To them, it's a relic. A treasure from an analog age. Maybe they see the date and ask, who was president then, or what were people paying for gas? They might marvel at the idea of physical change at all, long after digital transactions have rendered small denominations obsolete. In that moment, a piece of your pocket change becomes their piece of history, and for the advanced collector today, the 2016 penny is part of a broader pattern, one that includes coin roll hunting, registry competition, investment diversification, and personal storytelling. People don't just collect for value. They collect for identity. To own a 2016 MS-69 RD cent is to hold a symbol of precision, of the smallest unit elevated to its highest form. And for every one such coin, there are millions more with slight variations, light wear, or potential hidden errors, each waiting to be found. There are collectors who specialize only in pennies. Others limit themselves even more narrowly: only Shield reverse cents, only 2010 to 2020, only Denver Mint coins with errors. This microniching has created deep specialization, allowing collectors to become experts on just one year, like 2016. The community surrounding these coins is tight-knit but growing. Forums like CoinTalk, Reddit's r/coins, and NGC's discussion boards often feature multi-page threads dedicated to new finds, DDO confirmations, RPM discussions, and grading speculation. A single photo of a suspected 2016 variety can trigger a dozen expert responses, leading to community-led discovery. Even dealers are adapting. Many now offer 2016 pennies slabbed by budget graders for casual collectors, while simultaneously sourcing high-end specimens for deep-pocket clients. Some bundle coins into starter kits, encouraging young collectors to begin their Lincoln journey with Shield cents. Others run YouTube live streams, opening bank rolls on camera, hoping for that rare 2016 error to surface in real time. The audience cheers. The thrill is contagious. This isn't just a hobby. It's a movement, and behind it all, the U.S. Mint continues to operate, striking new coins each year, but even it cannot predict the staying power of individual issues. It cannot predict that one day, decades from now, people will whisper stories about a near-perfect 2016 Lincoln cent that sold for millions. That they'll recall the day they found a 2016 D penny with a mysterious clash under a microscope. Or that a coin, no different in mass or metal than billions of others, became legendary. That is the paradox and the poetry of coins. They are mass-produced and utterly unique. They are worth 1 cent and potentially priceless. And the only way to unlock that value, to truly grasp their importance, is to look closely, think deeply, and ask questions others overlook. So wherever you are right now, at your kitchen table, at a desk, on a bus, check your change. Pull out a penny. Look at the date. If it says 2016, pause. That coin might be common, or it might be the next great discovery. It might be zinc and copper, or it might be opportunity. What matters is how you see it, and if this story, this deep dive into the world of the 2016 Lincoln cent, has taught us anything, it's that greatness hides in plain sight. Sometimes all it takes is 1 cent, 1 second, one spark of curiosity to uncover it.